As regular viewers to this channel will know, and subscribers of course, and thanks very much for your support, this channel is basically a Manchester City channel. But of course I'm a football fan as well, so I thought I'd try this as an experiment. I chatted recently to Darren Royle, son of Joe Royle, former City manager and player, and Frank Rothwell, a businessman who has taken over Oldham Athletic, Darren being the facilitator and now chief executive in that new regime. It's a really interesting interview, I think, about the way that this club has been taken over and their ambitions for the future, and I wanted to share it with as many people as possible. If you don't like this new video style, if you like, I won't do it again if that's not what you want on this channel. But I'd be interested to see what your views are and give us your feedback, of course, whether it be on Twitter or on the channel itself. So here's an interview with Darren Royle and Frank Rothwell, the two new people in charge of Oldham Athletic. I really hope you enjoy it.
It's quite simple, really. Frank's business ambassador for Oldham. I'd gone to him to seek his advice, really, and speak to him about getting somebody in as part of a group of people. And then Frank quickly realised that it was an opportunity actually where Frank and family could do it themselves, really, and consolidate everything which needed to happen quickly, and that's it, really. In essence, it wasn't a long conversation, and we went from there. So yeah.
I know you were involved at Wigan Athletic when they had a takeover, so you've got a lot of experience in that area. But I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, that Oldham Athletic, because of your dad, is something that's very close to your heart.
It is. It's a club that's very close to the family. Many good memories. Dad's legacy here, and I live in the area as well. We watch games, my kids support the team, so yeah, it's very special.
I think I've seen you down here when you were a lot younger with your dad, when he was in his sort of pomp, so you'll have plenty of memories out there on the pitch of the good times, won't you?
Yeah, plenty of memories, and also plenty of memories of working hard and when it was tough, because it wasn't instant success. It was, a board that backed a young manager and give them time to build something. So I think that's a competitive advantage nowadays, if that's possible. So yeah, that was many good memories, and obviously going to school and the Wembley years and all of that stuff. But we're quite resolute in the fact that we need to acknowledge that and celebrate it. But it's all about the future now. Hard work, lots of hard work, showing humility and showing respect to clubs that come here as well, which we will do. We're not expecting to beat anyone. It's going to be a very tough season, and it's going to be a very tough time in terms of building the business back up again, which is why we need the community and the businesses in the area to support us now.
How would you describe your own career and your own role in this?
My own role was trying to help the club out to begin with, and then very, very fortunate to find Frank and family. I knew Frank's son-in-law from before that, which was my connection, but yeah, I said, it's a golden ticket for the club to have family involved like Frank and the Rothwells, and it's amazing. It's an amazing opportunity. The goodwill bestowed on the club now from the town, the community, the council is unbelievable. So it's down to us now to capitalise on that, work hard, as I said, over a few years now, and make sure the way forwards is up the league and not down.
And your own business background?
Well, business as well. I've been involved in football and the football industry, but business as well. So there's certain aspects of it which are cross-transferable, and then there's others which I do think the football industry is unique in some aspects. So and never being afraid of asking for advice or getting help of people. Never too old to learn, I think is the term. So yeah, that's where I am with it.
Are you going to be hands-on here? Have you got time to put in? I know in the short term you can perhaps do stuff, but with your other business interests, are you going to be hands-on? Are you going to be involved?
Yeah, that's absolutely the plan. It will be, full-time at the moment, and for the foreseeable future, I'm talking years. So, the commitment from me is there. So we need to obviously put a lot of hard work in as a team, as a board. We've got a fantastic board. We've got a female director, which is brilliant from a women in sport, women in business perspective, in the shape of Sue, Frank's daughter. So that's fantastic as well. So there's a whole other element to the club that we need to develop as well, around various aspects of the game, and we're going to be doing that.
Frank, we've seen you filling in potholes in the car park, and I've just witnessed you outside getting your hands dirty, and that has appealed to the fans straight away. What is it that's made you take this leap? Do you know what you've let yourself in for?
Of course, we know what we let ourselves in for. Are we expecting to make a profit? No, we're not. We eventually want to be self-sustainable. We are following Darren's vision, and that's Darren's vision is for the club to, within 2 or 3 years, be self-sustainable with other income other than football and other sports, and also growing the academy. And that's where we are. That's what we want to do now. In the meantime, if we can get some promotion, that'll be fantastic. We're not putting any pressure at all on John. No pressure at all. We're having the board is having zero input into the football side of it. John's got his budget. Get on with it. The only person that might speak to him as a friend might be Darren's dad, Joe. But apart from that, we will have zero input into him. I think that's important. That's what the club wanted, because it was the opposite with the previous regime.
I guess it was a bit of an eye-opener when you took on this challenge, because I'm sure that's what you'll see it as, that the club has been a bit fractured in lots and lots of ways. I mean, we're in a stand here that wasn't being used. Little Wembley, one of the the little training pitch it looks derelict almost at the moment, and I'm sure there's a lot more behind the scenes that you could tell me. Has it shocked you? Have you been surprised? Have you been worried about the amount you're taking on?
Yeah, but it's all the things I've seen so far are things that I can do, things that I understand. Like fixing Little Wembley. It's just simple to my own business. What are the things I've been working? I spent 2 or 3 days this week working here, and it's stuff we've got to. It's dead simple stuff. Just got to straighten places up. We've taken some seats out today that were faulty. We don't want people on faulty seats, which there'll not be a seat there. Somebody come and complain, they can sit anywhere they want. We just not want people going on with a bad back because they sat on a wonky seat. That type of thing. A load of cables around the illuminated boards around the pitch, they're all hanging around. So all we've done, dead simple, one bloke, 2 hours, cable tied them all together, tidied them up. Little things like that. The perimeter of the pitch, it was slippy. My wife couldn't stand on it. It was so slippy. Players will come running off the grass to run off the pitch, and they could slip and hurt themselves on the perimeter. So that type of thing, little things that don't cost a lot to fix. There's a lot of those, and that's what we're aiming at first, the easy fix. But in business, I am a businessman. I've set my business up from a one-man band, manufacturing portable buildings. Now we've got a niche business that we only hire stuff out, but we make it. And my business model is we manufacture something and we hire it out. We don't buy in anything unless it's extremely specialised. And so we have a really competitive edge on all our competitors. And this what we're doing here is completely different to that. It's completely different type of business. But I know how a business works, and my business model is, or a business model we work to is, first of all, you start the business, you've got to survive. You go through the survival period, and then you consolidate. Once you've consolidated and you're feeling secure, then you can go for more growth or expand. Well, for a football club, that growth or expand is promotion. So now I've only been here 14 days, 15 days, and we've gone through the survival part of it now, because we've sold so many season tickets. Not fans. We don't have football fans as a term that can be used derogatory for a gang of people chasing through a town centre, or if there's a punch bin motorway services. They're football fans. These are not football fans. These are supporters, and so that's what we bought into. We bought into the support of the supporters here.
This is a very firmly established, iconic brand within this town. It means everything to the people of Oldham. You know that. That's why you've come in. You also know, despite the fantastic business success that you've had, that football is very different to ordinary business, and you know that there will be ups and downs. And right now, you're sort of flavour of the month, really, aren't you? Everybody loves you. Does it concern you at all that at some point in the future, if things aren't going so well, that it will be a bigger challenge than it is right now?
Of course it does. Of course it does. We're all frightened of those nights when you can't go to sleep at night because you haven't won for however long, and people are starting to turn against you, Well, I think we've given the town the best thing it could probably have, and that's its club back, and I don't think nobody's asked me that question yet. Nobody's asked me that question yet. Are you going to go and start buying in players? Because we're not. We've spent up on this. All our investment money has gone into Oldham Athletic, getting it on a level street, because it could have gone completely to the bottom edge of the pyramid of football. Oldham Athletic could have gone right down to the bottom of the football pyramid, and we were only days, if not hours, off that happening. And there was no gain at all for the previous owner. He couldn't see how he could gain from this. It was all bad news for him. But luckily, my son, who's a little bit more placid than me, he spent a lot of time talking to Abdullah on the phone, and eventually they came up with a solution which allowed him to walk away with dignity, and also us to be able to afford to do what we're doing.
So I've looked at clubs like Bury, and that's what you're talking about,
yeah.
I suppose, really, what's happened to Bury. I've also looked at Macclesfield Town, who brought in new owners, and Robbie Savage being a front man, and you could almost argue that Darren is playing the Robbie Savage role. But there's also been Stockport County, who went down 2 divisions with the Football League, got a new owner who did, and just like Robbie Savage and the owner of Stockport have talked about, making the club into a sustainable thing off the field. And here we are sat in this beautiful suite, a facility that hasn't been used enough. So I suppose there's a few questions that come from it. First of all, is everything back now in your ownership? Is this all going to be used by the community and for you to make profit to help sustain Oldham Athletic? And, if there's no money to sort of invest now, how do you meet the fans' expectations when they want the best players and to win?
The fans' expectations is to come here. If it's not as they would have wished, if the result is not as it would have wished, they will still go away from here happy.
I think as well, Ian, we've got a really strong group of players. It's 10 new players put together. We've got an iconic manager who's a legend here, and we've got to get behind them as well. They're not robots or machines. They're human beings, so they need time to assimilate as a group of players and get a pattern of football going together. But football is strewn with examples of where money doesn't work. So what we do ask for in answer to your point and your question, which is very valid, is can we please ask for time and patience. And that's not always easy, because we all want to see our own teams win, and in this case we want to see Oldham Athletic win, but it will take time to rebuild a club. John Sheridan and Tommy Wright have done a great job already, and we're 100% as a board behind them.
So I suppose my final question, for now at least, is what's your message to Oldham Athletic supporters watching this right at the beginning of your tenure?
So, my message is thank you. Thank you for giving us your support. The season ticket sales have gone through the roof. The season ticket sales have gone beyond our expectations. And so I thank them for giving us their support. Thank you very much indeed. So please stay with us. Like Darren says, it would be a miracle, not a miracle, but we'll be very fortunate to actually get promotion in the first year. There's a lot of strong teams in here, in this division. And I've looked at us, but the bookies nearly always get it right, and they've got Wrexham at 1.5 to 1. And we're up there at 14. The bookies must think that we're in with a chance of a playoff place. We've been looking, the family has been looking for investments for 4 or 5 years. and to put the profits from our business into, and we haven't been able to find anything. And then afterwards, you look at something, you think, oh, I won't do that, and then afterwards you think, oh, I missed a great opportunity there. And I think what we're doing here is a fantastic opportunity. Everybody is behind us. The council is behind us, not just at the elected councillors, but not the management. What do they call them, Darren? The
executive at the council.
Executive of the council. They are really, really keen to see us prosper. Not prosper in a financial way, but prosper in the way of giving something for the town. And that's what we want to be. You know, in life we all want to do some good somewhere, and you know, it's hard to find something that fits. And I found something when I rowed the Atlantic. I've got 2 Guinness World Records for being the oldest man to row across the Atlantic last year. And one of the problems I've got, this is one of the biggest problems I've got, is I'm going again this year. I'm planning to go again in February. So I'm going to miss the back end of the business end of the season. So how am I going to get it broadcast to me when I'm in mid-Atlantic? I'm going to have to row fast to get home to watch the recordings, aren't I?
You should be very proud of yourself, Frank.
Well, I am proud of myself. But in life, just first of all, this is important to tell everybody. In life, I've been lucky. And I've been lucky in three ways. First of all, health. I've never smoked, but I'm 72 now, and I've been reasonably healthy. Oh, I forgot I had prostate cancer 10 years ago, but I did something about it. I realised there was something wrong, and I did something about it. And I went for the most drastic thing you could go for, treatment you could go for. And I'm here now, 12 years later, buying a football club. So I've been lucky in health. I've been lucky that I've married an absolutely fantastic lady. Judith, we've been married for 52 years, and she is an absolute darling, and she says yes to nearly everything, except can I go to the pub? She doesn't say yes to that. But also, I've been lucky, I've enjoyed work. For me, in the morning, to get up to go to work is something that I've enjoyed doing. I feel sorry for the bloke, and there's a lot of, this is the majority of people, who sit on the side of the bed at 4:30 in the morning thinking, I've got to go to work. I don't want to, I hate the job I'm doing. I've got to go now. Oh, I've got to pay the mortgage. I've got to pay the rent. Oh no, the kids want to go on holiday, and I've got to go and do this. But I hate this job. If I don't set off now, I'm not going to get south of Birmingham before the traffic hits. So I'm not going to be able to unload this wagon, and I'm going to spend the night out in the cab. I don't want to do that. So then at 4:30, they get up and they go to work. And I love that man. I have a passion for that man. I've never been that man because I've always enjoyed my work, but I do know what it's like to sit on the side of the bed in the morning thinking, I'd like another 10 minutes.
This is your chance to give back. Well done, Frank.
Yeah, this is my chance. Oh, sorry. If I didn't explain that properly, then when I did my rowing, we all in life want to do something and give something back. And when I started the idea of rowing across the Atlantic, I wanted to do it for myself. And not for anybody else. We raised funds, and I'd not thought about that. I was going to pay for it myself, and it's an expensive thing to do. And I was going to win a race. And then I started to see that the other rowers were actually being funded by charities, and then they would raise a lot of money and the charity would take a slice off, or they would pay a lot of their costs, and then the charity would get money off it. I thought, wow, yes. And then I thought I could do that, but give it all to a charity. And I thought, what charity could I select? Well, as we get older, more and more people that we know are affected by Alzheimer's. Not necessarily got themselves, but if you're a spouse or the son or a daughter of somebody who gets Alzheimer's, it's crippling for you as well. It's as bad for you as it is for them, because they may not know that there's anything wrong. You know, so I raised £1 million rowing across the Atlantic for Alzheimer's research. And I thought that I was lucky that I'd found something that I could do that everybody would benefit from, all of mankind would benefit from. And I thought that was it. I was satisfied with that. And then I met Darren. Darren!
Now here you are rescuing Oldham Athletic.
Yeah, and it's the whole family are behind it. Because really, you've got to realise is I've now outlived my parents. My wife has outlived her parents. So how much longer are we going to have? So really, it's not me it's bought, it's my kids, you know. And my son is adamant that he wants to make Oldham Athletic stronger, and it be of a wider ownership, not owned by some hedge fund in America or anything like that. He wants it to be owned locally by groups of people or groups of businesses, by the supporters. Notice I didn't say fans, by our supporters, and that's my son's real vision. And it's, at the end of the day, it's our Sue and Luke. It's them that's doing it. It's my money, but if I adjust it tomorrow, and like I say, we've outlived our parents, so.
On behalf of all the Oldham Athletic fans watching this, thank you to the two of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.